Hey, we are live with Joy. Thank you very much for hopping on. How are you doing, Joy?
I'm doing good, Jay. Thanks for having me. How are you?
No, good, good, good. Really excited by your news in terms of
Okay.
what you've achieved while working together. But first of all, tell everyone what you do in terms of who you serve and what transformation you provide for them.
Yeah, that's fine. So I serve female coaches and consultants. Basically, the transformation I offer is really zooming down on trying to get consistent clients
Good.
monthly, and especially in the cases of high ticket clients. So not just any client, but high ticket clients. So that's really what I do at the moment. And it goes for both existing coaches and also aspiring coaches as well. So yeah.
No, fantastic. Okay. And we started working together maybe the tail end of January, maybe pushing together like Feb,
Yeah,
like in terms of
yeah,
the start. How have you
yeah.
found the whole process in terms of, but because you'd been on programs before, but maybe things didn't really sort of kind of take off as you hoped. But
Mhm.
what have you found to have been useful as to sort of kind of achieving quite a big result so quickly. What's made a difference in terms of getting
Yeah,
the balls and sort of kind of having these conversations with
yeah.
potential clients? Yeah,
Yeah, I think for me, it's been a journey since
yeah,
I ventured into this. I'd say I kind of ventured into this Q4 of
yeah,
last year.
yeah.
And yes, you're right. I had a course which I was following, which was great. At the time, I was coming in, fresh from my professional career and looking to transition into coaching.
Hmm.
So it was good to help me find my feet and really get myself into the flow of things, sort of look at the landscape and see what I'm dealing with. So that was good in that respect. So I think for me, and again, it varies for people, but I think mostly a lot of times we have information. But what was really the stepping, stone for me was being able to work with yourself one on one. So obviously having a coach that
Yeah,
directly addresses my own specific needs and
yeah,
situation. I found that helped in terms of accountability.
yeah,
That was key. Again, I had to assess where I was at the
yeah,
time, and I knew that that was what I really wanted to do. I needed to take action,
yeah.
and that was what was stopping me previously from stepping forward. So yeah.
No, fantastic. And what I've seen is that you're really born for this in terms of taking up that position of authority, being
Yeah,
very tenacious as
yeah,
well. I know you've got a lot going on and things like,
indeed.
but you
Yeah,
show up, you're
yeah,
consistent, you take
yeah,
action, and even right now, like you said, let's hop on, let's do
yeah,
this. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, a lot of people might be looking at this and
yeah.
might be saying, okay, Joy, how have you exactly done this? So,
Mhm.
what have been the three steps that have taken you from maybe, all right, thinking about, coaching and maybe thinking, okay, I want to coach to actually
Mhm.
landing a 3K client? What are the three things that really turn the needle to make that happen for you?
One thing I would say for me is, like I said, I wasn't an existing coach, so I came in fresh into the system.
Yes.
But I would say for me, the first thing was really knowing exactly that I wanted to do this. So that commitment, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it's something that had been at the back of my mind. I knew I wanted to impact and help women. I
Yeah.
just didn't know how to do it, how to go about it. So
Yes.
when I decided to invest in myself, I think that was the first step. Now, I
Yeah.
went ahead with your coaching. Obviously, I got that in place. I got the support. The next thing was obviously to have a strategy and have a
Yes.
process and
Amazing.
system that would act as the vehicle to achieving my results.
Hmm.
So, one of the key things that has really helped me again is focusing on my why. Obviously, like you said, I have a lot going on. I'm a mom of three.
Wow.
I'm a full-time worker. I'm still working my 9 to 5,
There
but
you
I
go.
think that shouldn't stop people from achieving their dream. So if you have that determination, to put, and you can put in the work, then to be honest, there's nothing that, you know, can't be achieved. So that's, I think for me was the turning point.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. And I remember in some of the early sessions, really getting aligned as to what your strengths were, you know, who you want to serve and why you want to serve these people. And I guess once that alignment is there, then we know, okay, it might take 1 week, it might take 2, 3, 4. We're not going to just pull out after 2 weeks. We know there's a deeper purpose of who we are serving, and we are following the process.
Absolutely.
How have you found the female market? Have they been very responsive in terms of like speaking with this particular niche? Any difficulties that you faced?
Yeah, I mean, initially I was like terrified, like, you know, how am I going to approach people? Because I think at the end of the day, the female market is amazing. There's so much potential in there, and people generally want to help each other. That's one thing I've found. However, it's trying to separate the fluff from the fact. And I think the best way to do this, really, what I've found is, you know, be yourself, you know. I think it's important to be transparent. So for example, when I was carrying out my market research, you know, I approached people, you know, sometimes, you know, you do a post and, you know, because there's no face or there's no sort of commonality to the post, people are kind of resistant. But I think once you approach them, you know, personally and just say, hey, you know, perhaps you're in the same group as them, you know, one of the Facebook groups, that's a good way. And let people just know who you are. And and I think a lot of times as well, if you can offer to help people as well. So even, you know, when I did my market research, there were 1 or 2 people that said, hey, I'm also doing, you know, something or some research. Would you help? And that was it. I'm like, yeah, of course. I can help you with your research. You can help me with my research. So those were some of the strategies that helped in my market research.
Okay, and I think you've nailed it in terms of when you have a market where potentially a lot of people are doing quote unquote the same thing. Your individuality comes out in terms of your process, in terms of your story, in terms of values, in terms of what you stand for, because those are not saturated. There's only one joy, you know. And you know, I think you've professed that really, really well. What are your plans moving forward? Is it to sort of kind of build upon the momentum of signing this client? Like in terms of what's the plans for the next quarter? Are you thinking for the next quarter in terms of how you can build upon this momentum?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, definitely we are all motivated when we see results. I think for me, I'm convinced I have a process that works. So one thing that always has been my motto is really adding value. And this stems from my background. I'm an engineer by background. I've been in the industry for 19 years. I'm also in commercial as well. So everything I do is about adding value. And I came into this industry saying, you know what, how can I help people? How can I do things differently? So my momentum moving forward is definitely to build on this momentum, but I want to really focus on helping my clients to achieve their goals. So my current client now, I'm really looking forward to an amazing coach. Working with her, I'm working on my one-on-one coaching. That's my model at the moment. Because that allows me to spend the time and really support my clients to hit their targets. I want to impact, so looking from this quarter moving forward, again, I want to impact even more women, you know, using my skills of problem solving. I think that's quite important because a lot of people out there need help. So I think I can definitely add a lot of value. So I'm just going to build on that.
No, great. And what I would say as a high school teacher, you know, being in the game, like teaching for maybe 10 years, I say that you're a natural teacher, like in terms of some of those teaching skills, they're like, wow, you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Assertive, you know, like one of those teachers that you listen to in the class, you know. So I think, has that been quite powerful as well, like the teaching side of things, like having been able to teach people?
To be honest with you, I never thought that someone would say that to me, I think we all look at ourselves differently, but I think once you can step into your power,
Yeah,
everything changes. Everything changes. One of the things that I'm really keen on helping women is really tapping into their genius zone. You
yeah,
know, everyone has a skill,
they
and
do.
it's knowing how to use that skill to get results. So
Amazing.
yeah, and I think once we can do that, to be honest, it's yeah, you're moving forward. You're in a good place. So.
Fantastic. And anyone maybe sitting on the fence thinking, should I maybe, take that plunge with Jay, not
Yeah.
sure. What would you say?
I would say definitely it's something that they should do because I think your coaching definitely has really helped me, just to discover, like, in fact, if I had to look back into when I first started, I would be amazed at how far I've come. But I think once you have it in you, you just need that guidance to help you, discover, move forward, have that motivation and that support. So definitely I would tell them to go for it.
Yeah. Perfect,
Yeah.
Joy. I know that there's another call at 4 o'clock, so
Yeah.
we have to get this going. But
Yeah.
thank you for attending today, and more to your success. And yeah,
Thank you.
everyone watching today, if
Mhm.
you would like to sort of kind of have a conversation about working together, then feel free to drop me a note. Feel free to connect with Joy as well,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
she's very wise and she's got great capabilities in the area of coaching with
Yeah.
female. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much, everyone.
No
And
problem. Thank
have
you.
a Monday. Thanks, Joy, for coming on again. Cheers.
Thanks, Jay. Okay. Bye.